So let me see if I've got this. Can y'all see my screen? No, I didn't share my screen. Hold on. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Okay. That's what we need to do. Okay, so y'all can see this. This is for Georgia. Are all of y'all from Tennessee? I don't know if y'all can hear me.
Yeah, I think there's a mix. I'm from Georgia.
Okay, so
okay.
There's a Georgia one, and it's in the chat, but I guess we'll just go over the Georgia one because it doesn't really matter. They're all exactly the same. The only thing that's different is the governor, the Speaker of the House, and that's about it, because these all need to go to the same people, because at the end of the day, it's this guy, Xavier Becerra, this OMB, the head of OMB, which does the finances. Okay, so the reason I decided not to put CMS, because I know some people that have been on the meeting knew that I was going to put CMS in there. The reason I didn't put CMS in there is because OMB is the one that's actually going to cut funding for people who don't get vaccinated. So they're higher up, they're more important. And then the AMA is also tied into that, which I don't have a medical profession background, so don't ask me what AMA and all that is. I just know that they're the ones calling the shots. So this one's for Georgia. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the one for Tennessee so people know that it's not just Georgia. We've got one for Michigan. We've got one for Tennessee. So can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay. So we've got one for Georgia. We've got one for Tennessee. I've filled them out. This is going to go on a jot form. And for the people in Georgia that are just doing the notices right now, y'all need to designate one person to print all these off for everyone and send them. And so I recommend getting a Cash App set up and organizing amongst yourselves as to who's going to take the money, who's going to mail them off, and who's going to print them off. Because that's what is going to happen in Tennessee. That's what they're going to do in Tennessee. They've already got somebody designated to send out the notices. However, for people in situations that they have to send out the notice by affidavit, that has to be notarized. So unless you have somebody to help you pay for the cost, and they're going to have to pay for that out of pocket. They're not going to be able to, I guess, come together and share the cost unless there's somebody that's sending the notice to. Because say, for instance, Heather got terminated. So she needs to send a notice by affidavit, which I'm going to pull up so y'all can see it. So she will need to send a notice by affidavit. But say one of her other colleagues hasn't lost their job yet, but they might lose their job and they're sending in a notice. Well, if they're within distance of each other to get together and send those in the same packet, they can do that. They don't all have to be sent out individually. It's actually better if they're together because it makes it more powerful as far as where you're coming from. So this is the notice by affidavit of maladministration. This has got to be notarized. The ones that aren't being terminated, yours does not have to be notarized, but it's basically the same thing. This just has the other steps. So we're going to go through it. This right here is for the courtesy copy, for the people that need to be courtesy copied. This This specific area, the courtesy copy, you do not have to put their addresses there. You could just put their names and like HR. These are most of the time, it's the people that are harassing you and asking you questions that are inappropriate about your vaccination status. Normally like a manager, HR, somebody like that. And you can put them down here and make a copy of this to send to them. It doesn't have to be certified mail, but you can make a copy of this to send to the HR, or what I recommend is putting the CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield or whatever company you work for right here in these. And you don't have to put the address, you just need the name, because when they go and open up your paper and they see that their name's courtesy copied with the director of the FBI, the attorney general, the speaker of the House, all these people, it's going to freak them out. They're going to be really, really alarmed and overwhelmed. A normal person would be. Oh, never mind. There was a CC right here, so I'm just going to delete that. I guess I can delete this too. I'm not going to touch this for right now. I'll look at it whenever I'm not doing this and see what needs to be done. Okay, so the difference between a notice and an affidavit is a little bit different. Okay, so this, I come now affiant. Affiant is you. You are the affiant. Okay, but you only use this term in an affidavit. So as you can see, I, one of the people is seen in the state or commonwealth of, and then you put your state's name. It doesn't have the affiant. That's purely reserved for affidavits. So whenever it says as seen in the state or commonwealth of, you put your state right here. Constitutional reference. So the constitutional reference is the reference inside the Constitution giving you the power to direct your government. Okay, and I'm going to pull this up so y'all can see that I'm not full of crap. Let me see. Here it is. Okay, so I put this together for new people because I work with people all over the country. And I always get asked the question. I got tired of going and hunting it down, so I put it all on one paper. I'm going to blow this up so y'all can see it. Okay, so this is just Alabama. We're not going to go through all of them. It says that all political power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefit, and that therefore they have at all times an inalienable and indefeasible right to change their form of government in such manner as they may deem expedient. We'll go down to Arizona, Article 2, Section 2. This is what I was referring to. See, they're a little bit different. Arizona's Article 2, Section 2. Arkansas's Article 2, Section 1, but they all say the similar versions of the same thing. And that's what it's referring to whenever it says constitutional reference. It's the constitutional reference according to the state that you're in, saying that all political power is inherent in the people and government is instituted for their protection, security, and benefit. And they have the right to alter, reform, or abolish the same in such manner as they may think proper. That's in Arkansas. Same thing in California. All political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for their protection, security, and benefit. And they have the right to alter or reform it when the public good may require. Okay, and see, Colorado, it's in a different article. These are in different articles. Article 2. All these are in Article 2s. Well, Alaska's in Article 1. So you have to know where you're at. So I'm going to go down to Tennessee here. Keep scrolling. They all say similar things. Okay, so this is the Tennessee Constitution. Article 1, Section 1. So right here, this is the Tennessee one. I, Jamie Bowers, that's my name. You would put your first and last name right here. As seen in the state or Commonwealth of Tennessee, because that's where I live. And then I would put the provision. Article 1, Section 1. Article 1, Section 1 goes right here. And Heather, that's the same thing for the affidavit. You do the same thing in the affidavit. The only difference is this little part right here is a little different and the ending is a little different. That's it. That's the only differences. And they're going to the same exact people, as you can see. The only difference in the Georgia one is it has to go to your government officials in Georgia. And as you can see, I've already got them in there for y'all. And you also need to have your sheriff, your local sheriff. That's what this is supposed to be. That's why I was... Okay. Sorry. If I see something, I need to fix it right then, or it might just go. And because as you can see, I've got a lot of these going on. So you need to get the name of your local sheriff. You need to get the address of your local sheriff. These need to go out to your local sheriff. You put your from. If you don't feel comfortable putting your full address, you can just put the name of your town and then your state, which is what I do sometimes, depending on who they're going to. I'm talking about in the actual document. Whenever you're filling out the registered letter, you need to have your full address and you need to spell it out in full. Do not use any abbreviations at all. Okay, so Article 1, Section 1, if this is Tennessee, if it's for Georgia, let's look up Georgia, which I've already got it. And I'll probably go ahead and put that in there so y'all don't have to type it up, but I do recommend getting familiar with your state constitution. It will save your life. In fact, I had police come up to my house today starting some crap, and because I knew my rights, they just left. Okay. If y'all see Georgia, let me know. There it is. Okay. So Georgia is Article 1, Section 2, I believe. I'm going to write that in. Paragraph 1. So as you can see, they're all different. It says, all government of right originates with the people, is founded upon their will only, and is instituted solely for the good of the whole. Public officers are the trustees and servants of the people and are at all times amenable to them. Okay, so now that everyone understands that the government is controlled by we the people, we can move on. So I'm going to go over the affidavit real quick for Heather, because once I get over the affidavit, because everyone's sending a notice, they're going to have to send an affidavit too. And I know this says notice, but it's a notice by affidavit. And an affidavit is under the penalty of perjury. So what you're saying is everything in this document is true. And it is true. Okay, so we're going to go down to the very, very, very bottom. And, okay. So this is, does everyone know how a notary works?
I do. And for anybody who's in West Tennessee, I have a cousin that will be notarizing stuff for me.
Where exactly are you at? Sorry about that. There needs to be a spacer in this heater, and we never put it back. Okay. So, I know everything's wonky all the time. I feel like that's just my life. So the Okay, will you explain the notary process for people who don't know? Because whenever I first started this, I did not know that you were supposed to wait to fill it out. And I filled it out. I filled out all of it.
So technically speaking, the notary is supposed to watch you complete all components of the form. And then they will sign it and give the little seal of notary.
Okay, so that's how you do the affidavit. So do not touch this form unless you're in front of the notary, because then you will have wasted paper. And that's for the affidavit. And the affidavit is only for people who have already been terminated. The notice is for the people who have a termination date. Okay, so the notice does not need to be notarized. You put your name, like I said, your state, and then the constitutional reference, which I will go ahead and just put those in there for this particular group. The reason I don't put them in there is because I have people from all over the country that take these, and it makes it a lot easier for them to customize them for their needs. Okay. Sui juris means in sound mind. That means you're capable of making decisions for yourself. And when you go to an attorney, you are basically stating that you're not capable of handling your own affairs. And that's why everything's in such a mess, because everybody runs to an attorney and the attorneys get to do whatever they want. So we go down to the end of the document, and the notices that do not need to be notarized, they're going to go on a jot form. So you will fill them out on a jot form website, and then they will go to an email. So the people in Georgia, do y'all have somebody designated, or can you get somebody designated that will print out all of these notices and send them off in packets?
This is Kara. I think we're working on it.
Okay. So you'll
like do we own this county?
Well, okay. So it's going to come to a point where everyone's going to have their stuff notarized, but you can send these notices in together, and then that one person will have that receipt for it. But if you, whenever it comes to the affidavit, you're not going to be able to fill it out on a jot form. You're going to have to physically send it in yourself. And because it's going to so many people, it's going to be fairly pricey. So if you have somebody in your county you can split that cost with, you can certainly put your affidavits in there with them. Or notices. You can put whatever you want in that document. So say hypothetically, you want to send an affidavit to the governor because you've already done the notice process, but your friend just got their letter saying that they're going to be terminated in February or whatever, and they're just starting the process. Well, they can put their notice inside the mailer with your affidavit because they're all going to the same place and they all have a receipt. So if you can get people together to share this cost with you, it will be a lot cheaper. However, when it comes to the affidavit, if you don't have somebody to send that with you, you will have to send it yourself to each person on the list.
Like what I'm going to have to do.
Heather?
Yep.
Was that you?
Yep. That was me.
So, and you might not be the only one. I'll have to double check. I'll have to go through my list and see. But yes, Heather, unfortunately, you will have to do it alone. But I will say this also: the more receipts that we have on this, that means the more evidence that y'all have created. So if Heather has a receipt, and Kara, is that your name? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the screen.
Yep.
Okay, so if Kara has to send hers off separately because there's not anybody in her county to help her, then that's just more evidence being collected against Blue Cross Blue Shield. And it's not just Blue Cross Blue Shield. Like I said, you courtesy copy right here. I would put the CEOs of your company. So this could be United Health. This could be somebody came in. I can't remember where they said that they worked. Amerigroup, I think it was. So this is universal for all of that. You could take this to a school board meeting. You could take this anywhere. It is meant to fit in almost every aspect of what's happening in our lives right now. So, because these are the people calling the shots. And I just threw the FBI director in there because he just needs to be in there. So, I lost my place, y'all. What was I talking about? I'm sorry.
I think you were towards the end of the document doing maybe the signature.
Oh, okay. Well, for the notice, all you do is name and then, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in because it's going to go on a job form. So it doesn't need to be blank. Okay, one of the people. I'm sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. Excuse me. Okay, so, and I'll change this for Georgia too, where it's not blank, and get in the job form. So down here, it's nothing fancy. You just put your signature. And it's called autograph because that's the real word for signing your signature. It's called autograph. And then you get them all together and you mail them off. And that's that. That's for the first step. That's for the notice. So do y'all have any questions?
All right, so this is me playing dumb, okay, Jamie?
That's fine.
On the address part up top, that puts a lot of people, there's a lot of people I list on that. So how many of these will I need to print out, do you think?
Okay, so how many people, are you talking about the courtesy copy?
Yes.
Okay. How many people are you wanting to add?
I don't know. I'm trying to make sure I know how many of these bad boys I need to print out because I know you said we'll send it to Billy.
So are you doing the notice by affidavit?
Yes.
Okay, so the notice by affidavit, you will get your original copy that you keep notarized. Then you will make copies for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people at least, and then whoever really just cheesed you off at your job. And then you'll just put their name in here. That way they can kind of, let a turd touch cotton. Pardon my language.
Okay, so the original one that's notarized is mine for my records, and then I make copies of it, and then I send it certified mail to all the other people that I want to have a copy of it.
Yes. And hold on one second. I'm going to get this registered mail. I'm going to show you what the registered mail form looks like. So just give me 1 second while I grab that.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go on camera, y'all, and I look not good. So just forgive me. I'm going to put this up so you can't see me. Okay. So this is a registered, which I'm sure many of you have already used it. This is a registered return letter receipt. So this is what you want to get back. This is proof that they got your documents. So.
Yep. And we have to hand address
And
each one of those.
yeah, you have to handwrite their addresses in them. So, and you can get these free. So if I were you, I'd go and pick some up if you can. Just be like, hey, I need some of those return mail receipts, and go ahead and fill them out before you ever go to the post office, and then take pictures of the receipt with your notices and or notice by affidavit, whatever it is you have, you want it written out, their name, and then put it, like, I would say directly under their names, and then take a picture of it. So, and then, so there's evidence of what was in because you want it to have the heading where it says notice of maladministration through deprivations of right by implementing unconstitutional mandates. So I would just take a picture of all the receipts lined up all around your documents, and take a picture of it and snap it for your records to prove what was in the receipt, because they could be like, well, that wasn't what was in it. Oh, yes, it was. I've got a photo and it's got a timestamp on it, buddy. You're not going to mess with me. So that's for your records. That's for your records, because they're playing hardball. They're trying to destroy our nation from the inside out, if y'all haven't noticed. So this is a way of covering. So when the whole purpose of this is the people have to reclaim their grand juries. And the only way we're going to get any justice is if we reclaim our grand juries. And there's a whole entire process that we have to do it. And we do need participation. This is more than just saving your job. Okay, so once you get your job saved, I hope you come back, because we have more stuff to do, because this isn't about saving your job. This is about saving our children in the long run. It's about our children and our children's children, because if we don't stand up now, our children and their children's children, they're not going to have anything. We will have just squallered it away being cowards. So we need to take care of keeping y'all's jobs. And then once that's taken care of, we need to take steps to regain control of our nation. And there's a game plan. We've been doing it. It's been working very, very, very well. We've been getting victory after victory after victory after victory. In fact, every time I turn on the news now, I'm like, like that's a victory. And for people who don't, you might watch the news and you might be like, oh, this is terrible, or this is terrible, or you feel like you're on a roller coaster. Well, if you're on the other side of this thing and you're writing these and you know what's going out, and then, 4 days later they change their tune, you know why they changed your tune. And it's because in all 50 Constitution, it says the power is inherent in the people. So by them ignoring we the people, they've already participated in maladministration. So it doesn't matter who, what, where, anything. It doesn't matter what they say, because they've already committed maladministration, and we have evidence of it. And also, I'd like to say this. So if you send this did my screen freeze? Okay. If you send these to your governor, your Speaker of the House, your Attorney General, whoever you send them to, if you send these out and they don't respond the way you've asked them to respond in the affidavit, they acquiesce. And if they acquiesce, that's also maladministration. And because you have the receipt, you have proof that they are not listening to the people. They're listening to, if they're not listening to us, I don't know who they're listening to. And it's whoever they're listening to isn't good. So I think that's about it. Does anybody have any questions?
All right. So this is Heather. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, you're good. You're good.
I was just going to say, I'm not at the point where my job is personally where it's hitting me personally, but I've been seeing this for such a long time. I just wanted to say how grateful I am to have found your chat, because you're at the root. You're at the root of everything, and everybody else, you know, in the world needs to wake up and see that that's what's happening. And I just wanted to tip my hat and say that I really appreciate you, and I am game for helping. I'm a homeschool mom. I know this isn't one of the general video chats that you do to the large group, but anything that I can do to help encourage parents, you know, I've been a homeschool mom for years. I know how scary the leap is, but I know how necessary it is for so many people right now. So happy to help in that way. I just wanted to, you know, let you know that.
I love that. I absolutely love that, because I can't tell you how many people come in and they're like, I need homeschool information. I need homeschool information. And I'm like, well, my kid's too young to be in school and I don't know anything about that. So the people who are seasoned in that, we definitely need them, because we don't know what's going to happen with the school systems. They're getting dark. They're getting ugly. And I guarantee you, they're going to come after our kids. And when they start, and they already have, in Louisiana, they gave 20 kids the wrong dose. 20 children the wrong dose. And then they've been giving them doses that they weren't even supposed to be getting. So if it were me, if my child was never going to go to public school anyway, because I saw the writing on the wall years ago. But if she were in public school right now, I'd be pulling her. And if you're going to lose your job anyway, you might as well just take care of your kids at home, because they're going to take this as far as they can before it's over, because and this is really scary, their main goal is depopulation and sterilization. So they don't care how it gets done. They just care it gets done. And they're definitely, if they know that their time's limited, they're certainly going to come after our children.
Yeah, I think that's why the speed of all this is so rapid. For sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but they've just kind of ramped everything up. And the reason they've ramped everything up is because people like me, and I want to say this, I'm not the mastermind behind all of this. I actually started watching Dave Jose in Arizona. And then I started paying attention to the Affidavit Mamas. And then I got in a group, and my group is amazing. We do stuff for all 50 states. In fact, I've been between People of Tennessee and that group. I stay busy all the time. I almost don't have time for my own life because of all this. But I believe in God, and it says, love thy neighbor. And I never knew what that meant, but I feel like this is the time to love thy neighbor. And that means caring what happens to your neighbor. Absolutely. Because what happens to all of y'all is what happens to us, everyone. No one's free of this. They can buy it off for a little bit of time, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, your words were so, they rang so true after having watched a movie. I'm sure you've seen it, the movie called Non-Compliant.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it, but I mean, I might have. I've seen so much stuff. I've researched because I knew that this day was coming.
Yeah. Well, exactly what you're doing and standing on the Constitution is the basis of what that movie was about. It's really just a talk by a constitutional attorney who's just standing up for all of this. You know, what you're doing is exactly what she said. You know, you don't sue somebody to get your car back when they steal it.
Nope.
So, you know. God bless you.
I'm like, well, the whole reason I'm doing this is because if people, okay, I don't work. I'm a stay-at-home mom, fortunately. My fiance's job is not affected. However, if people like you that are in the workforce don't step up, then there's going to come a time where my freedom in my house doing my own thing is going to come to an abrupt halt. And like, what happens to you is what happens to me, and what happens to somebody else is what's going to happen to us. So if you look at China and you see what's happening in China with this COVID stuff, just know that that's what they want for us. And I will die before I allow them to do anything that disturbing or disgusting to me, my child, or anybody around me. If I won't let them do it to anybody around me.
Nope.
So, and that's where we need to be. And the problem with this society is that people don't have enough conviction. They don't stand for anything. They crumble.
Yep.
And it's sad. So I'm glad that all of y'all are here. You're very strong in your convictions if you're here.
Absolutely. There's no tipping point.
No, there's no tipping point for me either. This is it. And when people are like, just wear the mask, just take the shot, just do this, just do that, I'm like, how about I just break my foot off in your ass? Pardon my language. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel. And I get so agitated and I just get so annoyed. I get so frustrated. And I shouldn't let it bother me, because biblically speaking, it says that there will be a thick delusion on those who are not lovers of the truth. And our entire society was built on a lie. So we are the majority, but we're not the majority, if that makes sense.
It does. It makes total sense. I'm so sorry I stepped on Heather's comment. She started to speak and then I rambled.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even say, I'm not even really looking at that screen, so I don't know who's trying to speak. I'm sorry. I'm going to shut up myself.
You are both perfectly fine. It was me, Jamie. It's Heather.
Okay.
The form, my form's ready to go, right?
Yes, your form is ready to go, unless you want me to put it in the provisions. Otherwise, you can type them out, but they're already in the chat too. I already made copies for everyone.
Okay.
So
Which
let's see.
chat are you
Notice
talking
my
about?
affidavit. So right here, you can write in Tennessee and then Article 1, Section 1, but I'm going to go ahead and just type that in there for you.
Okay.
So you don't have to do that. So I'm glad you said that. And then right here, I'll go ahead and put this in too. And I have to double check these because I don't know. I think I might have accidentally changed Georgia's. Oh, okay. Yes, yours is ready to go. There it is. It looks good. I've had it proofread several times. It's been read about 1 million times from the group, and it's ready to go. And I'm trying to find this. It was Article 1, Section 1, Paragraph 2. Okay, this is pretty good. But that's not it. So for the Georgia one, I'm going to have to ask one of my friends, because I don't want to sit here and read this in front of all of y'all, because research is very, very boring for those watching it. So I love it. It's my bread and butter. I could research all day, but I'm kind of getting tired of it because I've been doing this for almost a year now. So, all right. Does anybody else have any more questions?
I do real quick on the documents that you sent through the chat earlier. I think you tagged Danielle, and I think she's going to put these in a job form. Is that right?
Yes, she's going to be putting these in a jot form tomorrow, and then I'm going to get with her tomorrow and see which one she's working on, and whichever one she's not working on, I'm going to be putting the other one in a jot form. So I think she's working on Tennessee. She's going to focus on Tennessee first, and so while she's working on the Tennessee one, I'll be working on the Georgia one.
Okay.
So, and then, but y'all need to, Georgia people need to designate somebody who can print all these off and send them off and get the Cash App set up for y'all. And have that designated person that's getting the money. And I would recommend about $20 per person, $20 to $30 per person, because these get very expensive.
Because it's about
Paper
per person. It's about nine certified mails, right?
Yes. So it's about, I think it's about $25, $30 per certified letter. So that would make sure each person basically paid for one packet. So like you would get the governor, one person get the Speaker of the House, one person pay for the Secretary of State, one person be the Attorney General. And then, you know, it would go like that. And so that would be also very helpful. And then also there's people that aren't on tonight, and I wish they were on, like Cheryl, which I hope she watches this. That's why I mentioned her name. That live in counties where there's nobody there to help them and they don't have anybody to help them in the cost. So they can also fill out the jot form, and then because we have a designated person, she can just send a little bit of money over there. Her jot form can be printed off. Anybody in Tennessee that needs their stuff printed off right now, there can be a designated person to send the notices off. And then everybody just needs to make sure that the person that's sending them has the money to cover the cost, because they do get costly.
Okay.
But that is just for the notice.
That's just for the notice. And does it matter about the county?
The county, okay, so
Like,
no,
do I
it
need to
doesn't
send
matter
that
the
together
county.
with other people in Walker County, or can we
Yeah,
all?
the county doesn't matter, but when we do the jot form where it says your local sheriff,
Mhm.
you will fill that in for your specific needs, and then you need to go ahead and print one copy of this out and get it to your sheriff. And another thing that we will be doing too also, which I kind of keep on forgetting. So once the jot form gets up, it goes and sends emails. So on top of getting a hard copy that's certified, they're going to be getting emails from everyone who signs it. So if you can get me the email of your local sheriffs, then the sheriffs will also be getting the emails. The Attorney General, the Secretary of State, the Governor, the Speaker of House, and the entire General Assembly in Georgia and in Tennessee will all be getting this. So they can't say, oh, we didn't know. We didn't know. Oh, you didn't know? Because I have right here a receipt that 500 people signed this, you know. And that's what we've been doing with the jot forms. But whenever it comes to the affidavit, like I said, you have to get it notarized. So if you don't have anyone in your county to split that cost with, you will have to send it yourself. But I would recommend, if you have to send it yourself, by yourself, stick to the governor, the Speaker of the House, the Secretary of State, the Attorney General. And that will cut down cost a whole bunch right here. Just these 4 people. But because certain counties have more people and more participants, they need to be the ones sending the notices and the affidavits for the people who are in counties by themselves that can't afford to spend $200-300 on paperwork. And then another thing I would like to say also, so the people in Georgia and the people in Tennessee, okay, so the people in Georgia are going to be sending the notices at the same time as the people in Tennessee are. So what you're going to do is you're going to, after you send out your affidavits, the people in Georgia are going to resend out notices, but it's not going to be certified mail. It's going to be in a regular envelope with 2 stamps on it, and you're going to send that to the governor, the Speaker of the House, the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, everyone on this list. And the Tennessee people are also going to do that for the Georgia people. And it just makes it stronger. It shows them that Y'all are organized. You know what you're talking about. And they're going to be backed into a corner like nobody's business. And I want to say this, okay? So when we first started this, when I first started the People of Tennessee, there was only 3 participants. That was it. And we have shaken the entire state of Tennessee with 3 people. So I can only imagine what we're going to do to Georgia and Tennessee, getting together and coming at them like that, because they're just not even going to know what to do. They're just going to do their job, hopefully. So, and like I said, those women kept their jobs. They sent them, they kept their jobs. And that was one of the first notices and affidavits I sent. So they weren't even written as well as these. Like, don't tell them that. But I've gotten a lot better at writing them and understanding what they say and understanding what they need to do and what they need to convey. So these are a lot stronger, a lot better than the ones that they sent out, because every time I send one out, they get better because I learn more from doing it. So does anybody else have any more questions?
I have one more.
Okay,
Do
go
I
on.
need to sign the job forms as well, even though it doesn't really benefit me since I have to have the affidavits? Should I still sign them?
Yes, you can still sign them, and I do recommend still signing them. In fact, when this goes up, this will actually go up to people from all over the nation. So the people that start printing these out, they're going to be like, what? Why is someone from California signing this? It's because they agree with what you're saying and they're willing to sign it to support what you're doing. And so you don't have to necessarily use those. You don't have to print them off and put them in the notice. What I recommend doing, if it were me and I were going through this situation, the ones that are from out of state, I would save those to send in bulk in a mailer after the affidavit's been sent to support the affidavit. And it doesn't have to be certified. That's what I would do. Because then they'd be like, what? People in New York are commenting on this? People in California? People in Colorado? We got Michigan? We got, and that's how we're going to get them. And I'm connected with people. It's not like I'm saying this and it's not going to happen. There is a huge network and it's growing every single day. So y'all aren't just the new, no offense, y'all aren't the new kids on the block. Or yeah, y'all are the new kids on the block. Y'all are the new kids on the block, but then there are people that are seasoned. I wouldn't say seasoned. I'm still learning. I will never stop learning. But who are more experienced like me, who understand the process, who understand the law, who understand how to write it up, what they need to say, how they need to be written. And all of y'all can learn this. If you want to learn, watch Dave Jose. Dave Cares for You on YouTube. And then I'm also doing educational videos, and I'll be posting them to People of Tennessee, so y'all won't have to spend thousands of hours studying like I did. I'll just be right there.
Awesome. Thank
Anybody
you for
else?
all that information. You're awesome, Jamie. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Hey, I got a quick question. I haven't received a response on the religious exemption yet. Is it okay to go ahead and submit the notice, or do I need to wait?
You do not wait. They should have never asked you for an exemption in the first place. That's against Article 1, Section 3 of the Tennessee Constitution. And I don't know what it is for Georgia, but it's against the Constitution for them to even ask. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to read this real quick because I want you to know that it's right here. Okay. that all men have a natural and indefeasible right to worship Almighty God according to the dictates of their own conscience. So when they deny you of your religious exemption, they're putting some kind of guidelines on your religious conscience, which they can't do. I mean, it's plain as day right there. It's written in the laws of our nation. So, and so before we got on here, and I got off to come to this meeting, but Dave Cares for You, Dave Jose, was actually live. He's probably still live. And he was saying that there was an argument in Congress with the bar attorneys because the bar attorneys have been hiding the real law from the people for so long.
Yes, and Jamie's already heard this, but I'll just add to it, Dean, since I haven't spoken with you before, but I met with an attorney yesterday who blatantly told me that private businesses are not covered under the Constitution. So it just proves that the attorneys either know what they're doing and are intentionally not telling us, or they're just dumb as rocks and they're missing a bunch of information.
Well, I would like to say this. The bar attorneys are in a private organization. It is not government. They don't have any kind of special powers. It's a private organization, and somebody owns that private organization. So that's it. That's all I got to say about that. So does anybody else have any more questions? No? All right. Well, I'm glad I answered everything, and I hope y'all feel more comfortable about doing this and understanding what it is that you're doing. Does everybody feel more comfortable with what it is that we're doing and what it is that we're conveying in these documents?
I
Yes,
do.
thank you very much.
Thank you for going over it. I'm not going to say it's 100% clear at all, but it's a little bit clearer.
I'll say this. Y'all have people to ask questions to. When I started this, there wasn't anybody to ask questions to. And so I did a lot of errors. And so I've already done most of the hard stuff. And now it's just kind of up to y'all guys to, read it. Please read it. Please read it, because at some point you will have to go to a grand jury trial. It might not be soon, but you will have to go to a grand jury trial, and you will have to know what's in that document. And that document is sound. It is sound. It is more sound than anything that you're going to get or see from anybody else, because it's the truth, it's the facts, and it's nothing but the truth, and there's no sugarcoating the facts.